Okay,
when we're live.
we are.
No, now we
Are we
are.
on now?
Yeah.
We are.
I really, really suck at this. I mean, it just, there's certain things I'm good at. Very few. But there are certain things I'm good at. This may not be one of them.
Like sucking dick, getting plowed in the ass.
No, I'm not talking about what you have won gold medals in at the Home Olympics. But
Well, you
Yeah.
you were my partner in the Homo Olympics, dude.
I was your spotter. That's right. It's
I'm pretty sure you were the catcher.
as long as I didn't push back. Hey,
Oh,
oops, that came out. Maybe I'll find something else to talk about, like we did the other night with the child car seats from the 60s and 70s. Oh, that was so bad. And then the one with the padding, they just took the same thin tube steel, and just put foam padding around it. It's still not belted in, but hooked on the back of your car. See, that stuff was bad.
I missed a station
What?
wagons with the backward-facing seat.
I love those. It's harder than Hooker to Shiners convention. What the hell is that?
Did you say
Randall?
Shiners or Shriners?
Shriners?
Shriners.
No. Randall's Canadian.
Were you a belly dancer?
No.
Oh, we also
You-
have some
you
stuff
look
to talk
like a
about
belly dancer.
with Chris Cuomo. Did you see?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
I take ivermectin now. It's like, you son of a bitch.
Yes, I turn that down.
We did the best we could with what we knew at the time. We can't help it if the signal lied to us.
Featuring Gay Division.
Produced by Toxic Butt Flu
Toxic butt flu. That's good. That's good.
or Toxic Ass Lube. Bigger pick.
Just call me Toxic Box. No, we're not. We're not nearly that good.
We've got Nick Weiser's name spelled wrong in the credits.
Yep.
Can't blame Tox for that one.
Nope.
That was all me.
So I was watching Toxic Tuesday last night. They were doing dodgeball.
Oh, nice.
And one of the things that I didn't know and I didn't hear is when they were announcing before they started the first dodgeball match. Remember, dyslexic players are not allowed on the floor. And I about fell over. It's like, comics can't even play dodgeball.
It was actually pretty good, Dodgeball.
It's a good film.
Oh, dear God. What did Robbie do to me?
What did Robbie not do to you?
I have no idea. I'll watch it later. Hello, folks. Welcome to Wednesday. We have a very special guest who's having some technical difficulties, and hopefully we'll be on with us shortly. But in the meantime, we will amuse you guys with some of the wackiness that has been all over Twitter today, which is basically what are the Hamas holes doing today is the best way of putting it. So let me share this because I find these clips to be absolutely hilarious, especially when they're doing press conferences. And the fact that there's people there filming them, taking them seriously, I find even more ridiculous. But yeah, it's current year, folks. And we all know current year has gone full retard.
Send your kids to these universities and don't hire from these universities.
Nope. This is fucking classic, guys. You're gonna love this.
I'm V Reeves with HAND, House Keys Action Network Denver. I use they, them pronouns. My name is spelled V, just the letter V. Last name Reeves. So we called for this emergency press conference because it became.
Why are children calling for emergency press conferences? Asking for a friend.
For something that they put themselves into.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Very clear from.
Was that?
Oh, no, not this one. It was the other press conference where somebody asked them, why should we bring you water, food, and all that stuff? You chose to be in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's just a look of confusion on their face. What? What do you mean my actions have consequences?
Yeah.
Do you not
like-
see me wearing my Hamas whole starter kit with this
What?
scarf? I mean, that says we get what we want.
Huh? Oh, the Babylon Bee broke a story. The Uyghur slaves over in are working double time to create all these Hamas wraps for the kids here.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
To sell on Amazon.
Yeah, right. They got that going.
Go figure.
Way to go, Uyghurs.
Several meetings that we'd been having with the folks here at this encampment and also with other migrants that there needed to be clarification on the kinds of systemic conditions these folks are put under. There's a lot of dissonance and a huge amount of difference between what is coming out of the city and what the
Oh, by the way, she's talking about illegal immigrants that are, yeah. So just so you're aware.
mayor is saying and what the reality of these people's lives are. There's also so many
You know, the people that came here illegally.
Oh, them.
Yeah. Yeah.
incredibly
First
strong
action getting into
parallels
this country was to break the law.
Yes. Yeah.
that come between the cause for the unhoused migrants' rights here.
What rights? They came here illegally.
They don't have any here.
Yeah. I mean, yes, they get some basic human rights, you know, like the rest of us do. But beyond
But
that,
I'm
they're-
not paying
they're-
for it.
Yeah, they're not
No.
citizens. And
No, they're getting
yeah.
Obamacare now.
Yeah.
They're working.
Oh, and you not only that, they are registered to vote.
Yes. Are they still getting free guns too?
Some of them here in Illinois only, apparently.
Only if you sign up to be a cop.
They are giving people who are here illegally the right to vote.
Well,
I know we have
They
an
are
article.
giving people
We'll talk about that.
who are here illegally
yes.
the right to vote.
Well, I mean, it's all part of the 3M ballot dump talks. I mean,
Exactly.
come on.
Yeah. There's no proof of that, but hey, who knows? Who knows? It could have been wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't there. I wasn't doing the counting because they threw everybody out. But
Oh, wasn't there somebody fired recently for making comments about illegal ballot dumps? Yeah.
for admitting it.
Yeah, for admitting it. Yeah.
Here in Colorado and in the U.S., and then there are parallels with the fight for a free Palestine.
Oh wait, this
Now,
is in Colorado.
a lot of that.
Just in Denver.
The
Denver
Avs are going to
or-
lose the next round because of all this estrogen that's being pumped into Colorado, Brahma. That's what's going on.
No, Dallas has plenty of estrogen of its own.
Well, they've got 70s. They got to fight over that as a fan. So-
Yeah.
God, I didn't realize this was in Colorado. I
Yeah.
am so sorry, dude.
It's got to be either Denver or Boulder.
No, it's Denver.
Is it Denver?
It's Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what would be happening if this was done in Tulsa or Oklahoma City?
Steamroller?
Pretty much. Oh, look, they're sod farmers now.
I was going to make a gay bashing joke, but okay.
That comes from the fact that we're facing a common enemy. We're facing a colonial structure that decides that black and brown bodies are not of the same value as white European colonial.
You stupid bitch. They came here illegally. They have no right to this stuff that you're complaining about. End of story.
Wait a second. This Norwegian bitch left out my red brothers and family.
Oh, well, they're
The ones
white-
that were
they're white
indigenous to this
adjacent now.
country, you fucking whore.
But
My
this is what I
God.
was, this is what I was saying last week, though. They have now created a whole new target that is just colonialism. It's
Yeah.
anything that's against the left, anything that's white.
Yep. And this is Soros' son. They're building a lot of stuff. They are funding a lot of this behind the scenes. This stuff's organized. You can't do this on a whim, right? This is all organized stuff. Organic stuff is very different.
Yep.
So
yeah, there's the students, and then there's the same people that were there for BLM a few years ago.
Plus, where the hell are they getting all these tents?
Oh, that would be from the Tides Foundation.
There you go.
Really? Are you serious?
Yes. Yes.
That's where they're getting these tents from.
Yes.
That's why you keep seeing the exact same brand of tents over and over and over at every campus.
Interesting. All right, well, this is almost over.
Settler bodies are.
All right, that was a settler bodies. Now
Settler bodies.
I have another one which is absolutely hilarious. So that was retweeted from R&B. Yeah, illegal immigrants in Denver have set up an encampment to protest city shelters. A press conference was just held on the encampment by pro-Palestinian activists. Her name is V, and she uses they them pronouns. This is not satire. Yeah, it's not satire. We'll get to Cuomo in a bit.
Which one? The handsy one, or the giant Q-tip one that faked all of the "I'm coming out of the basement"?
It's
that one.
That one. Okay.
Chris Cuomo. But there's another one. I thought I started. I guess I didn't. It was great because of the armband comments. Here, I'm gonna stop sharing. I'm gonna see if I can go find. Maybe it's in a DM someplace.
The armband comments.
Well, have you guys seen the videos of the new Hitler Youth where they've got all these little tiny kids marching for Palestine with flags and everything and chants?
Yes.
I did see that, but there was one where there's these students. Oh, I just realized I stopped sharing. Here we go. And they basically have like these green armbands on, and there's like somebody filming, and they're asking questions like, "Yeah, they're saying no Jews allowed." It's like, really? Oh, that's kind of interesting. It's some mighty fine armbands you got there. Kind of reminds me of another group that did like the Jews.
Yeah. What's that? You know what? We should all get together, and really, I think we should help these people. I do. I think that's a cry for help. I think we should buy them all brown shirts.
Yes.
And send it to them. I think we should do that. And knee-high boots.
In size super small.
Yes. Comics division size. You can't just you look at this, it's orchestrated. That's the end of the story.
Well, I mean, a lot of these protests are orchestrated. This has been like ever since like the G8 summit shit that happened in Seattle, like fucking, was it 2 decades ago at this point?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was organized. I mean, it's the same fucking people. I mean, they've been doing this shit for years and years and years. This is nothing new.
You're guaranteed to have one every 4 years, just like the Olympics.
Yeah.
It's weird. What else happens every 4 years?
Okay, well, there's another one I'll pull up, which is pretty funny. Did you see the one where the guys are getting painted on? There's like all this graffiti. Yeah, I'll pull this one.
Oh yeah, the guy who's painting up stuff. That was funny.
He just sprays straight over him.
Yeah, this is fucking.
Did you see that Lincoln Gilded of the Post Millennial or whatever it was? The one that Charlie Kirk is. That's Turning Point USA. Is that their site?
TP USA, I think.
Yeah,
TP USA.
That one was
we'll
recent.
pull that up. We'll pull that up.
This is funny as hell.
Yep, this is great.
Assaulted by the contractors.
It's like your dumbass is the one standing there. I love how they provide them with masks. I would have found a way of like spraying underneath that mask just to get their face. I think I would have done a more thorough job too of painting them.
Oh yeah.
In front of a wall, so we are allowed to express ourselves on.
Like, I would have got his hair.
To express myself.
He doesn't even flinch. He just goes straight over them.
Well, there's a cop behind him that's just saying, "Yeah, just paint over him."
No, not the Eunice. Not the Eunice.
Not the humans.
The Eunice, his shirt.
Oh, the Eunice.
It's going to ruin his Eunice shirt.
I would have fucking done it. I would have sprayed their hair.
He's getting sprayed.
Well, I mean, I don't think they got sprayed enough, in my opinion.
Oh no.
You know, I'm a petty asshole like that.
I would have made them stand in the YMCA pose.
That song's already here to keep the guy to the way voluntarily. So is our painting.
That is an annoying
Leave that
sound
sign for me,
that
brother.
paint does
Last
make.
time
We advised them they were going to get paid on them.
He's like, oh well.
We're just here.
Yeah, we're just
We
here.
agree or disagree.
Oh,
Dude, that's dangerous.
Fucking retards.
That's dangerous.
That's basically a F around, find out.
Yeah, it really is.
They don't have anything else better to do.
Yep.
They really don't, because their
They're not
degree
learning
in
anything at college.
underground and basket weaving doesn't. No, actually, underwater basket weaving is a real thing, and it takes a lot of skill to do. So they are not even to that level.
Well, I always thought that was kind of a joke, but yeah.
No, it's a real class.
I did love when they had taken over one of the buildings and they just locked them in, and you could hear all the kids whining. Well, I want to go home now. I've got finals in the morning. You can't just keep us here.
Shit. Okay.
Morons.
TikTok. Okay, I think it's Twitter one, right? Talks.
Yeah, it's the Twitter
okay.
one.
Yeah, all right, found it. All right, let me go share it real quick.
Frontlines TPUSA.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I find this stuff fucking hilarious.
I'm just tired of it being in every news cycle is the only. I mean, it's funny, but it's getting really old being in every single news site.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Stop.
Well, what needs to happen is there needs to be some real fucking consequences for this shit. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Oh, there will be. In about 20 years, when the communists fully take over and all of these REITs are in the middle of the fields dying. One of the best parts of Three Body Problem, which for me, there weren't too many, but one of the best parts of Three Body Problem was when she faced the girl who had killed her father, and the girl had gangrene and lost an arm and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And she just, had no remorse whatsoever. She was every bit of humanity was beaten out of this girl by the revolution, the movement.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And it just, I like that was very poignant because you were there, this stuff, you're going after the intellectuals, this people, all that. My teacher did all this stuff, everything, beat him to death. And what happened? You're working in the fields. Because it's just the communism, socialism thing is just overt that you are working for the upper class. You mean nothing to them. I'm always amazed at how little life is valued outside the United States.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, and that's like one of the big things with cyberpunk too, is about the devaluation of human life becoming cheap. And I kind of feel like that's where we're heading. That's what they want, right? They want this devalue of life.
Right. And if go ahead. Sorry.
Well, no, we're not monetized on this channel. I mean,
Nope.
That's how we get a whole generation or two that doesn't even know what gender is. I mean, if there are no differences between people, in between sexes, in between anything, then really everything can be treated exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to differentiate anything. So is it a tragedy when a woman goes to the front lines and dies? No, because it's the same as a guy.
Yep, pretty
No
much.
big deal.
Right.
Hey, Brandon,
Hey,
There's that
guys.
Norse guy.
how you doing, sir?
Not bad. Not bad at all. How are y'all?
Doing pretty
Your
good.
mic's a little
Yes.
bit hot, Brandon. Maybe the gain.
Well, I had to, I had some information on Boeing and I was trying to hide myself.
Oh no, that's not good.
Yeah.
All right, let's play this.
My
clip
name
real
is Mandon Bors.
Mandon Boris. Poor Mandon Boris was found dead in the parking lot of the court where he's going to go testify.
Of apparent suicide.
Of apparent
Great
suicide.
great
God.
grandfather created Morse code.
Oh, that's true. That's
Yeah, there you go.
He hung himself twice, shot himself in the back of the head 3 times while on the stand.
And
While
then
on the stand.
ritualistically disemboweled himself.
Seppuku was also involved.
While lighting himself on fire.
Yeah.
And dropping into a vat of gasoline.
The fire bit was considered an accident. The rest of it was intentional.
Yeah,
So,
pretty much.
So was the
Wow,
overdose.
look at how many Antifa. Okay, now we got a real fight on our hands. Ready? Hey, get that on
The guy in the green is the reporter. So the guy in the blue coat is the journalist.
Come on, fat boy! The moment administration knows this is happening, this gets broken up.
The administration knows this is happening. Weak, brother.
No violence. Hey, Miss Shasti Conrad, look at all the violence. You said there was no violence. You okay? We should call the cops. Umbrellas, right there. You see that broken umbrella? Whole mom. That whole mom. Multiple witnesses. I'm just trying to be a journalist. I mean, we're trying to cover this event, and you have outside agitators like Antifa who are 40 years old, losers with no jobs.
Go back to Reddit.
Pleasure to meet you, bro.
Back to Reddit.
Hey, I'm really sorry you have to deal with these knuckleheads.
Wow.
Yep. That was today at the University of Washington.
That's crazy.
Where did they find that 40-year-old billionaire at? Was that in Washington?
The dead one?
No, he was at the protest, at one of the protests. It was a 40-year-old billionaire that was a trust fund baby. And he's been, he's a well-known with the cops doing several of these.
He's part of Antifa?
Yeah.
That's not surprising, actually. So the rich kids are some of the most, like, hateful, entitled people I have ever... I'm sorry to anyone who's a rich kid, but I mean, like, even from personal experience, I just know people who grew up rich. And
No, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
You are not wrong.
I think part of the problem is that this is just my theory. They grow up in these leftist areas, you know, or like they go to college or something like that. They're made to feel guilty about their wealth, and they have to make up for it somehow. And then they just kind of descended to radicalism.
Oh, I found it.
Strictly on guilt alone.
It was not Andy No.
That
was not Andy No. Okay, this is the one I was talking about from earlier. I forgot. I had to go search for the key term, which was no Jews, which they actually had in common.
And I think it was Choose. I'll have to find out his name.
The name was in the original Twitter. Well, the handle is.
Gotcha. All right.
I'll see if I can.
This
find
is
it.
actually pretty fucking funny.
Why can't we play today? Just out of curiosity. You know, we able to check out what's happening. Like, this is national news. I want to see what's happening here, you know?
We got somebody coming out. Just so you know. We're trying to keep everyone safe.
I'll be safe.
Tonight, there's a lot of people out here.
Yeah.
We made a decision to be selective about who we let in. Yeah. So just today, it's not who can you let in.
You know,
We're basing it on whatever we're based it on. Come back on. How the fuck would I know you're Jewish, right?
So then what are you basing it off of?
The fact that we're closing this place off. Okay. All right, we're closing it off for everybody.
So are we not able to get in at all? For no reason.
Are you guys students here?
Yes, we are.
They're not letting any of you in.
No one's going in.
They said no Jews allowed.
Wait.
Sorry, what'd they tell you?
No Jews allowed. They said come back with a mask. We asked at the other entrance. They said, do you have a mask? And they said, no, come over here.
Did they say come back with a yellow star? Because that seems to be, I mean, I noticed they're all wearing armbands. This looks really familiar from our history. Is that to know who's supposed to be in here? Is that what those are for? You guys study your history? How'd you get into college here?
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
What a great response.
Just remember, folks, they're the ones that call us fascists.
I do love the trash can shields, though.
Oh God, those are so fucking funny. Did you guys see the one where the guys are running up and they basically fall over when they encounter the cops?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I did. That was so
fantastic.
We're badasses. We're going right for him. Oh God.
Yeah. This
These people, man.
summer's not even here yet, folks.
I know.
It's gonna get worse.
You know,
It's
it's
not
just
even
okay.
summer of love yet. Right now, it's just the summer of, or the beginning of the spring of foreplay.
It's the spring of shitheads.
The spring of foreplay.
Yeah, the spring of foreplay. There you go.
Immature ejaculation.
Immature ejaculation.
There it is. There it is. There it is. Premature ejaculation.
Premature. Yeah. What did I say? Immature.
Yeah, immature.
Same.
No, immature ejaculation works too.
You're not
With
wrong.
this group, yeah.
You're not wrong.
Oh man. What do you guys' thoughts? Okay, so it's election year. We have we had a massive amount of protests and rioting in 2020, the year of an election. Here we are, another election year, and looks like things are gearing up for more chaos.
Yeah.
Um,
I wonder if they. I mean, I know we made the premature ejaculation joke, but I actually kind of wonder if that is politically what's happening here. I think that they've been desperate for their own new Black Lives Matter movement, right? So to replace the Black Lives Matter movement. And I think this is what they settled on, but it's not as popular as the Black Lives Matter movement. A lot of people can't get behind it because it's so blatantly anti-Semitic.
Well, doesn't have a cool slogan.
No, it doesn't. Yeah.
I mean, try.
Not a lot of good marketing there.
They could just start chanting "Gas the Jews." I mean, that's catchier, right?
Oh wait, I mean, it doesn't. Black
first.
Lives Matter fits very well on a shirt.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's a great bumper sticker.
From the river to the sea doesn't. Now you could mark it as Babylon B came up with, from the river to the sea, salted caramel candies. Okay, now that's something you could do right there.
Wait, did y'all hear about the Harvard camp?
Oh yes.
No.
Yeah. Oh, where's that photo?
I've got it.
You got it.
I've got it.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is. Oh,
I want to. Can I read this to you guys?
Yeah.
Go.
Do it.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen here.
See if he can do this. Remember, he's got one hand on his penis. Okay.
It just makes this all the more.
Yeah, this is a red state thing. This freaking
wrong one. Wrong one. Right, hang on.
Of course, Brandon's bringing up a red state thing.
Of course he would. Actually, no. I'm actually committing a sin here. Here's the Daily Beast.
Oh
What the hell's wrong with you?
Oh, is this the one about the sugary snacks?
The sugary snacks and the
sugary
kitty
snacks
litter.
of walnuts.
Oh my
So,
god.
okay, my favorite part of this entire article, I mean, I laughed out loud. So the Harvard protest, to give you guys some background and everyone watching, Harvard students tried to put together a rally that just did not get the same oomph as Columbia, and they tried to set up a little tent, a meeting place. Here it is, a little meeting place to bring the Harvard upper echelon people in to talk about divesting from Israel, like and try to kind of get the same result that Brown College did, where they were like, yeah, we'll consider divesting from Israel, that's fine, yada yada. But again, Harvard was just like, no, you guys stop this right now. This is dumb, and if you don't stop, we're going to suspend you. So,
Good.
They started to peter out, and this is the best 3 paragraphs I've read all week. The protesters called for a rally that evening, summoning the Boston community to join the protest through Harvard's Johnston Gate. The rally started small with about 50 students and swelled to perhaps 80. They marched through the yard, banging on drums and shouting the same old chants. This is where liberation happens, loses some punch when the yard used to be open to all, and now every student has to have an ID scan before entering. For 12 days, the protesters have been chanting, disclose, divest, we will not stop, we will not rest. But the time to rest may be approaching, finals are in full swing, and as one junior English major said to me, I heard a lot of the protesters have already booked their plane tickets. Sorry, I meant these 3. As the days have worn on, Harvard's encampment has lost vibrancy. The sugary snacks stacked in the, quote, liberated zone have been consumed. A rainstorm on Sunday night did not help. I asked one observer when he thought the protest peaked. He considered it a moment and then said, when they all ran in. That was on April 24th. And the excitement of setting up, it gets better. It gets better. The excitement of setting up a liberation camp has turned into the drudgery of camping without nearby sanitary facilities. On the other side of University Hall, the newly expanded zone consists of 4 small tents, 3 for sleeping and 1 filled with books with a sign that says Memorial Library. Supplies appear to be limited to water and buckets of tiny cats instant action scented clumping clay cat litter.
Oh!
There did not appear to be any cats in the area, so draw your own conclusions.
Oh my god!
I saw your tweet on that and I fucking laughed.
I saw that and I fucking lost it. I was like, I gotta write an entire article around this theory.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my god.
They're shitting in kitty litter, guys.
Oh my gosh, they've never been camping. Oh my gosh.
All right, so this is what I'm going to show right now.
This is fucking funny.
Ottawa University. So, Randall, this is your people. So, Ottawa University, Ottawa students misspell Palestine during takeover on campus.
Yeah.
Free Palestine. P-A-L-A instead of P-A-L-E. Look at this crap. That's
fucking brilliant.
I honest to God hope these kinds of protests never end, because this has been an endless amount of fascination and hilarity for me. I love this. These people are so stupid. I hope it never gets as violent as Colombia. Don't get me wrong.
What happened in Colombia as far as the violence is concerned?
Well, I mean, you had people actually shooing Jews away from certain areas. They went into, what's it called? The hall, some kind of hall. And they pretty much destroyed it. They had clashes with police. Police had to force them out. And it was obviously got national news attention, which I think is part of what made it worse.
I probably had seen the footage. I didn't realize that was Colombia, but
Colombia, got the worst of it. But yeah, it was just really bad. But all the others, I don't think have gotten as bad as Colombia. I think New York, not NYU per se, but New York in general had its own little riots there, because you saw the World War I monument defaced.
Yeah, and people were not happy about that.
People were pissed about that.
Yeah.
Randall says he knows many a uni grad who can't spell. My cousin was one, and he and his engineering degree from UBC. Oh, that's bad.
It's so horrible.
But
this is actually true. Palestine isn't a real place. It's a people.
I keep trying to explain that to people, and they don't understand that.
It's never been a state or anything.
Well, it's never been a state. But the other thing too that they don't take into consideration is that the Jews were there too, man. Okay, mm-hmm. I mean, you go back far enough. I want to say Judea was a thing at one point, mm-hmm. Specifically during the Romans.
So were the Mississippian Indians.
Yeah,
that ran over majority of North America and used to run buffalo off a cliff 3 times a year for meat and clothing and stuff and things like that. So, I mean, we could go back that far if you want.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's a reason why we forget things generationally.
Yeah. Well, right? I mean, my whole point
need to
is
be
that
moving forward.
These two groups of people have existed in that same area and have hated each other for literally thousands of years.
Oh, no. So. Aaron, I'm so sorry. I feel like my IQ has dropped 50 points just from those videos and listening to that Brant read that article.
Did y'all play the one of the girl basically almost crying into a microphone? I forget where college it's at now, but
no,
they went on the hunger strike.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know what I'm talking about?
The fat chick that went on the hunger strike?
No. So it was it's a different one. They decided to go on a hunger strike to protest in favor of Palestine, and then they got into a microphone and started complaining about how they're having medical problems and the college needs to send supplies.
Oh wait, yeah. That's the chick that is talking about how they need to be delivered food and water from the university because they have meal cards. Is that the one?
Yeah, that was.
Oh my god, yeah, we need to find that. I mean, I laughed. I was like, talk about fucking entitlement.
This is what I'm talking about. These kids are just so stupid. I mean, like,
I love this mentality of, okay, you know, you put yourself in the situation, and you know the you're hungry. It's your own fucking fault, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, see if you can find it, because it's funny.
I'm looking for it right now.
It is really funny. While you're doing that, I'm gonna play the Cuomo clip. So Chris Cuomo, who we all know is a fucking retarded human being.
He is, in fact, comics retard.
Well, okay, what we'll do is we're gonna play the before and after clip. Because there's two. I go and add this here, and we'll play the one here first. Let me pause that. And
people who are injecting drugs for animals and horse,
and people telling them to.
Oh my God!
What person? You know, you talk about cancel culture and who to shame. Ivermectin, a dewormer. Really?
They are shaming themselves. No one has to shame them. They're shaming themselves.
No, they need to be shamed.
Yeah.
They need to be called out and shamed, brother.
Okay. All right. So that was then, and this is now.
I'll tell you something else that's going to get you a lot of hits. I am taking a what do they call it? Like a
dewormer? Are you taking a dewormer? A horse dewormer?
Regular dose, whatever. They're trying to build up of ivermectin. Ivermectin was a boogeyman early on in COVID.
You couldn't talk about it.
That was wrong.
Fucking retards.
Oh shit!
I swear to God, this so fucking.
They made the CDC
annoying.
Take down all the tweets they put up there making fun of people that were doing that.
Oh yeah. I remember mentioning that.
We were given bad information about ivermectin.
Oh, fuck
The real
off.
question is why?
No, the real question
Everyone's
is
gonna
why
say
didn't you
Joe
do your
Rogan
job as
was
a
right.
journalist and
Yeah,
look
exactly.
into it?
Because he's not a journalist. All of these people are just like, we were talking about him the other night. EIB Network just died, cancer. Rush Limbaugh, just like Rush Limbaugh, entertainer. These are all entertainers. Rush was so big and commanded so much money. Everybody turned everything they had in their news into entertainment.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was something I figured out really early on too. That Rush Limbaugh was an entertainer.
He admits it.
Well, yeah,
he said it all the time.
Saying he was a journalist.
Yeah.
These people just still claim to be journalists.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, that's the funny part.
No, Joe Rogan was saying, yeah, he was right. But that's not what matters. What matters is...
no, it's 100% what fucking matters, dude.
You guys changed the color of his skin.
Yes.
To make him look more
Ill.
sickly.
Yeah. Fucking...
The entire clinical community knew that ivermectin couldn't hurt you. They knew it, Patrick. I know they knew it. How do I know? Because now I'm doing nothing but talking to these clinicians.
They fucking said it then, dude. That's how they fucking knew.
Well, that's the one doctor that got kicked off of Twitter and all that stuff and everything, and people had to sue for him to come in and save their family and all that stuff. If they'd have just listened to him, they'd have saved a lot of people.
Yeah, Robert.
I mean, there's so much I can say. YouTube can literally go fuck off. You just take your AI thing and realize that you guys are responsible for a lot of this stuff that's happened. Because the people that were running Twitter and YouTube and stuff at the time were just slightly more intelligent than these fucktards we've been watching here tonight.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if I can blame them anymore when you're that dumb. It's kind of like blaming the Japanese people for World War II. All right. They were intentionally kept from having an education above fourth grade unless they were needed for the war effort to have more education.
Well, one thing
but the
is...
general populace was kept at fourth grade to keep them stupid because they did, at that point, you haven't learned critical thinking.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of it too. Reading Shogun actually kind of has given me a better understanding of the Japanese people, specifically with the attitudes of surrender and whatnot, right? Because when you realize that you have a culture that would rather kill themselves than surrender, now you understand the reason why they treated the people who surrendered in World War II so poorly.
Right.
So
a lot of that stuff that okay.
Well, a lot of that shit was very much cultural.
Yeah, but I don't know if I want to go into it because the Japanese culture and the whole Shogun thing and all that stuff and everything wasn't really theirs. Japanese culture didn't really have anything. They're a hodgepodge, mostly Korean. And there's a reason why the Japanese really went after the Chinese and the Korean people with that stuff. So there's a reason why they closed down their country for a while. Very xenophobic.
Oh, yeah, they're very xenophobic.
And all that stuff and everything from there. I've been watching Blue-Eyed Samurai.
Yeah, it's great.
Thanks for the warning about all the nudity.
No.
I'm sitting there watching it. Mrs. Flu's, oh, this looks pretty good. Oh, my God. Like, wow, they do that with drawings. That's cool. Yeah. But yeah,
it's called hentai. And
it's like, have you ever watched Japanese, cartoon porn called hentai?
Yeah.
No, there's
it's way more graphic than that.
I get it, but that's not something I sit down with Mrs. Flu to watch. And I said, well, comics said it was good. Let's do that.
It is a good show.
And great she goes, wow, watching porno with Ian K. That's great.
Yeah, I don't remember there being that much nudity in it, honestly.
It's just surprising, right? Yeah. Because I grew up in the cartoon era. I'm really not into the anime stuff, as you know, that as others. I kind of missed that boat. Psychopaths is phenomenal. But it's not something I'm used to.
Yeah.
Seeing in that genre. And when that happened and they're just flopping all over the place, first of all, I thought I'd been transported into some kind of Game of Thrones mix-up because they were just flopping penises everywhere. But then after that, I was like, oh, wow, that's kind of... And then I'm like, oh, they have a very high opinion of themselves.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Especially the samurai.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, no, I don't think that's real. But hey. But yeah, Blue Eye Samurai's been really good.
Yeah.
I've liked it so far. So,
all right. Continuing. I love this fucking freeze frame right on this dude's douchey expression.
Clinicians who at the time were overwhelmed by COVID and they weren't saying anything. Not that they were hiding anything.
Yeah, they were, dude. You just weren't listening.
Shit. Okay. All right. This is the winners revising history.
Yes, it is.
That's exactly what this is. This is him trying to basically reposition himself in the historical narrative.
This is the COVID amnesty shit they're talking about.
Yeah. We didn't know any better.
We didn't know any better. Yeah, you fucking did. It was intentional.
You worked for CNN. You had all the resources necessary to know better. In fact, I imagine you guys actually did know better. You just couldn't say it because it was against the narrative that you were given at the time.
Yep. 100%.
But it's cheap. It's not owned by anybody, and it's used as an antimicrobial, antiviral, in all of these different ways.
No fucking shit, you retard.
Antiviral.
This is what people have been saying back then. Okay, you were shouting them down, saying it's horse dewormer. That was your battle cry. Yeah, you fucking lied. Own it.
Yeah.
It has been for a long time.
For malaria for over almost 20 years.
Yeah. So, and my doctor, who is now my doctor, was using it during COVID on her family and on patients. And it was working for them. So they were wrong to play scared on that. Didn't know that at the time.
No, the media pushed that, not the doctors. There was plenty of doctors that stood up and said it. One of them was banned off of Twitter. I don't remember the guy's name. It was the guy that Joe Rogan interviewed. I think there was another one, LaPierre, I think was his name. Trying to remember. He talked about it too. But the one that
McCarthy, no, what was
the one that was banned? He was also involved with the development of the mRNA, not this particular vaccine, but with mRNA.
I know who you're talking about, and I'm trying to remember his name.
It's not, you mean the one they just took off the market in Europe?
No. He wasn't involved with that. He was involved with the development of the technology. Thank you, Robert Monroe.
Monroe,
That was the
right?
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one that they've taken off. Ghost Rider says that that's the vibrator in his ass making him smile like that.
That makes sense, I guess.
Know it now, admit it now, reporting on it now. Because I think that's the job. The idea that, well, you were a vaccine proponent. Why wouldn't I have been a vaccine proponent? Now there are questions. Oh, no, but I knew at the time. No, you didn't. What you knew was that there were people telling you to be resistant to what the government was telling you.
No, there was
literal
literal
What a
doctors talking about this
dipshit.
shit.
What a dipshit.
Yes.
This one video here alone is 3 or 4 articles worth of freaking material.
This is he has not changed.
No.
Nope.
He hasn't changed at all.
Tell us what molecular biology is, Chris Cuomo.
Yeah, tell me what a woman is, asshole. Yeah. Since when did you become a microbiologist?
Yeah.
I know a few microbiologists.
Well, the molecular biologists are the ones that design vaccines. And so, hello,
you know-
who do you talk to? You find friends that will be honest with you.
You know who they hired to put some of the testing kits together? Laid off baggage handlers from the airports.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. This whole thing is fucking infuriating.
It's
There's like
more
one
than a
else.
woman, Tifredo.
You to do.
Anyway, that was it. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Fucking sack of shit. Crick,
He has not changed.
Credit to
tweet.
whoever was doing that interview, not coming across that table and just busting in.
Yeah. Fucking deserves to be smacked.
He's part arrogant and part idiot.
Yep.
But he's a Cuomo. I mean, this is what they do.
Yeah.
You know,
Chats. I got chats.
Yeah.
I've met his brother.
You
Andrew.
met Chris Cuomo or Andrew Cuomo, I mean?
Yeah, Andrew. Multiple times. Yeah.
The sex offender? Allegedly.
Yes. Alleged. Yes.
Alleged.
Well, I mean, they
Did
got
you walk
him
away a
kicked out.
Cuomo-sexual?
Yeah. No, I did not. No, but yeah, he was pretty big around there. Their dad was really loved by a lot of people, Mario, and when he was mayor and stuff. So,
Oh, I forgot that.
yeah, so they carry a lot of clout still in the area because of their dad.
Yeah.
So, who I think was a better man than either one of them.
That we know of.
Well, you just
There was
have
no
a-
internet back then.
Right. Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. But that whole, you see it in like Genghis Khan took over the world, right? And then he had to break everything up because of his kids. And then within a couple of generations, it was all gone.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And Alexander the Great, same thing, all that stuff. You have these great people that forge this empire. And then they say, I'm going to give it to my children and pass this stuff on. And it's probably the dumbest decision you can make. You need to build this empire and then figure out either who among your family or outside your family has the ability to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
And that's what you give them to. You give them to that.
Hmm.
And then you just set up a fund to make sure your kids have enough to be comfortable.
Right.
You know, when you stop giving your kids opportunities and start giving them handouts, that's when they become like these two idiots.
Yeah.
Right. And Trump's a lot of things. And whatever from there, whatever you think it led from, right? Yes, he did get $1 million from his dad, but he's built a whole lot more with that than somebody else could be given the same amount of money.
And
He
I
still had to
imagine
take
he
the
wasn't
chances
just
to
given the
just-
$1 million by his dad. He was also given the know-how of what to do with it.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's probably
Right.
more important than the $1 million ever will be.
Well, isn't there like a thing?
If he thought his dad thought he was an idiot, he probably wouldn't have given him $1 million.
Right.
Isn't there like a thing where they say like that? The first generation builds it, the second generation expands it, the third one wrecks it.
Yeah, somewhere around in there.
There was a
Well,
what is the
Lord
it was
of the
like
Rings.
an Arabian CEO guy who said he's like, my father rode a donkey, or my grandfather rode a donkey. My father drove around an old Honda. I drive a Lamborghini. My son will probably drive an expensive car, but his son will probably drive an old Honda. And
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And eventually they'll all get donkeys.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, pretty much. This is another one, completely unrelated to the U.S., but oh my God, that was absolutely hilarious. Probably one of the... Oh, wait. Wait. We have a special guest. Can he say stuff? Can
I talk?
Yes, you can.
Like just once.
Okay, you're kind of hot, though. Your mic is a bit hot.
Let me take that down a bit.
It might have been the fact that it was adjusting. I don't know. Try.
I've been adjusting him too.
Okay. All right. Cool. You can turn your audio up a bit.
Audio up a bit. All right.
Yeah, you're kind of low.
I got it. I turned him down on the back end.
Okay.
Don't turn me down without letting me know.
Welcome, Pinochet.
Hey, now. He's got me on his sights.
So now that I fix this, did you guys already play the clip of the Massachusetts state trooper completely cold clocking the kid who thought he was going to?
No, we did not.
Okay.
No.
Oh, please get to that.
We'll get to that one. I want to get to this one real quick. This one is fucking hilarious. This happened in Scotland. Totally unrelated to anything over here.
Presiding officer, I would like to thank Nicola Sturgeon for making sure I got re-elected to First Minister. I promise we will continue to fuck this country right up for the foreseeable future. We will also make sure that every school in Scotland receives bananas and Nutella every day. I would also like to thank my predecessor, Humza Useless. I know he will be upset another white man is in charge now. But I would like to reassure him that is not the case. To make it clear, I am not a white man. I now identify as a black Muslim woman and will be the first female First Minister for Gaza. Inshallah.
Oh, for fuck's sake, yeah, stupid wee baldy bobag.
Presiding officer.
This is a deep fake, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I saw that. I
God.
laughed so fucking hard.
God. If that actually did happen, if I was a Scot, I would be so horny. You have no idea. Could only become so erect. I have that video of the girl complaining about this hunger strike conditions. If
right.
Yeah, y'all ready for that?
Yeah, pop that up. We'll get to the Massachusetts one after that.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Yep. It's too bad. It's too bad that wasn't real, but it was fucking hilarious.
Seriously.
Oh, this is
One
different.
time would love a politics. Yeah. All right, here we go.
This is good.
This is absolutely unfair. My peers and I, we are starving. We are physically exhausted. I am quite literally shaking right now, as you can see. We are both cold and hot at the same time. We are all immunocompromised. And based on the university's meeting yesterday with some of our bargaining team, they would love to continue physically weakening us because they can't stand to say no to unjust murder. I will say I truly do not feel like I am doing anything special. This is my choice, and I would not spend my birthday doing anything other than being here and standing in solidarity with you all and standing in solidarity with our siblings and innocent people in Gaza.
Innocent people in Gaza. How many of them are actually innocent? Did y'all see the new report that came out that said that a lot of the people who came across Israel to the Israel border on 10/7 weren't part of Hamas? They were just regular Palestinians.
Really? No, I didn't hear about that.
A lot of them were just regular Palestinians.
Not terribly surprising.
No matter how physically weak we may be, united we have never been stronger. Our resolve has never been stronger. The people united will never be defeated.
Okay. So yeah, they're all immunocompromised. They're starving. They're hot and cold at the same time. They're literally shaking, but they have the strength and the power to send and scream at microphones.
So was she quoting a Katy Perry song?
Probably.
I'm hot and I'm cold. Isn't that?
There was another one where they were basically making demands of the university to deliver foods to the protester. because I don't know, reasons, I guess. It was kind of funny.
This was Princeton University that was doing that, because this is the hunger strike one.
Okay. No, this was a different one where they were demanding food from the university. Yeah. They're saying we have meal cards and the university needs to deliver us food. Because if they're not, they'll be culpable and basically in their injuries and unhealth and shit like that. It was fucking stupid. Pinochet, where did you drop the one about the Massachusetts police officer? Was that in Gilded?
I don't think I dropped it. I think somebody else did. It was actually a different shot because there's one head on. We just see the statey just crashing right into the kid. So he comes out of nowhere with his brown round.
Let's see. You remember where you saw that?
Does Twitter count?
Well,
Dead air.
Yeah, of course Twitter counts. But yeah, no, I don't see it. Let me see if I can find it. Was it?
Just look up UMass Amherst, and it should come up like that.
Okay.
Oh, and Twitter?
UMass what?
Amherst.
Okay.
Zoomass.
Okay. All right. Let me see here. Oh, yep. Okay. I think I found it. This looks good.
The guy in the green shirt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's it. All right. Let me go and share it real quick. That's freaking hilarious. I have way too many tabs of Twitter open. Go rewind this a bit. Share it all the way. There we go. All right. Bam!
Oh, you got to show it again.
He just sits there with his hand on his neck, holding him down.
Yep.
That was a beautiful takedown.
Yeah, it was.
He's on the ground. Get the fuck off him.
Should get him to train the Cowboys defense.
Bro, for real though.
What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? You can't fucking tie the fucking hands up, you fucking bitch.
He's doing it though.
Yeah. That's where somebody else. Yeah. Done. Now I'm going to move on to you.
Can't understand what he says to him.
It's gonna be okay.
Just tell them you can't breathe.
Yeah.
Can we see that takedown one more time?
Sure.
Yeah, let's go back to the beginning.
I want to see, yeah.
We need a slow-mo recap.
Oh my gosh. Look at that.
Oh, no, you don't.
You know,
I don't even think he knew what hit him.
No.
Yeah.
He's dazed.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm
It's not like he cold cocked him.
I'm not for state violence, but sometimes you just gotta punch a motherfucker. You know, I mean.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're willing to punch you.
Do it more often with these people.
I'm going to be honest. I live within 5 minutes of 2 state police barracks, one in Sturbridge, one in Brookfield, right up the street. It has nothing to do with the color of your skin. These guys are so easygoing. Just do not play. And they're on the road everywhere waiting to nab somebody. It's just super simple. Stay out of their hair. And the cops, maybe it's because I'm in the central part of the state, but they're not a problem. They're just not.
Mm-hmm. Never had an issue. But
yeah,
I'm also white, so you know.
I mean,
look
I've been
Indian.
pulled over, and they're like, "Oh, you're from Worcester." I'm like, "You make it sound like it's a different
A bad
country."
deal.
I'm like, it's down the street.
Well, I mean, the thing about it, which annoys me, is that they make it sound like white people don't get harassed by the cops or get shot by the cops, which they do plenty. It never gets fucking reported on. I mean, I've been harassed by police. Back when I was in my 20s, whenever I get pulled over, they immediately think I have drugs and they want to search my vehicle. And, this whole thing, it's ridiculous is what it is. You have good cops, you have bad cops, and you have to judge all these situations on a case by case basis. at the end of the day. It's like with any situation. And the problem is that they're trying to make every single incident into a George Floyd incident. Remember that black youth who really wasn't a youth, that shot at a police officer, but they're saying they were trying to create another George Floyd incident. And the media kept omitting the fact that the guy shot 11 times at the police.
First.
Right. First.
Yeah. But did they need to use 96 rounds?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm being sarcastic.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, you've been in situations. Okay, you've been in situations where your life's on the line. Most people haven't.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I've never been comfortable with people who've never been in this situation saying that, oh, well, you should have stopped. Oh, well, you should have done this. Because a reasonable person in a live fire situation, right? You're not a reasonable person if you are in a live fire situation.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Everyone thinks they're John Wick.
Exactly. Yeah. But you're not. When they've been proven over and over again, when you have a firearm pointed at you, you are focused on that firearm.
Yeah.
And when the police or someone else have that firearm out, they are focused on that. That's why you have people. I mean, Pinochet didn't go out on patrol by himself, right?
Yeah. All those people too that think like one armed vet is going to take on like all of the ATF or all of the FBI. Like the person who does that wants to die. I like living. I'm not stupid. Like if the feds are coming to raid you, you're going to jail. They're either coming to kill you or you're going to jail.
Yeah.
So there's no sense in fighting. So
my dad's a he's a retired police officer. My brother's a police officer now. And one thing that I've learned is like once they pull their gun and they need to pull the trigger, they don't stop until you're dead.
Yeah. Well, they don't stop until the threat's eliminated, and
it's neutralized.
Neutralized.
You know? And if the guy happens to be alive after they stop pulling the trigger, then that's great. Okay. But the thing is like you kind of want at that point in time, you kind of want the guy to die. Because you don't know if he is still going to move against you. If he had a gun in his hand or anything like that, and he still has life in him or strength in him, he could lift that gun and kill you or one of your partners.
Yeah, right.
So neutralize is the way to say it, but yeah, it's not. You keep pulling that trigger until you think that there is no possible way that person can do anything against you at that point.
Right.
Well, it's like I had one grandfather who was in the Pacific Theater in Burma, and I had his brother, my great uncle, who was in Europe, and they were in two different wars. In Europe, there was surrender, right? Okay, impossible here. We can't do it anymore. We're going to surrender. They're prisoners and all that stuff. In the Pacific Theater, the Japanese fought to the end.
Yep.
So you had somebody starving, New Guinea. Oh my God, and it's starving. And you go over there and you try to help be a humanitarian, and they have a grenade or they've got a gun and they're trying to kill you, take as many of you from there. It was savage.
Yeah. I mean, do you guys remember? This wasn't like a widely known thing, but it was like I want to say maybe like 5-10 years ago. There was a Japanese soldier that was still in the Pacific Theater fighting the war.
Yeah, they memed it in Red Dead Redemption 2. You go to the one little place, and there's a guy from the Civil War who like has no idea 30 years have passed.
Yeah,
in the jungle on an island.
Well, it's not so much that he didn't know; he knew the war was over, but he kept fighting the war. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that he didn't accept the Japanese surrender. I mean, and that's kind of how
properly relieved.
Yeah,
his duty post.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how a lot of that mentality was. I mean, we always see every single time, not Pearl Harbor gets brought up, but the when we went and nuked, Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Yeah, and people will say, well, that wasn't necessary. It's like, damn, yes, it was 100% necessary. It's like you have no clue the fanaticism of the Japanese because of culturally how they are. The idea of the whole death before dishonor death before surrender. I mean, you have to do something that fucking huge and traumatic to get people to go, if we don't surrender, they will wipe us all out.
Yeah.
Well, it got them to shut down, and it also was a show of force to Russia saying, don't start anything now that we're done dealing with Germany.
Some people, like some Japanese historians themselves, though, they have admitted like they were putting the Japanese people, the Japanese Empire at that point in time was putting their own people through the meat grinder.
Yeah.
The amount of death and destruction and disease that was happening at the hands of the Japanese army to the Japanese people was pretty insane.
Yeah.
So the dropping of those 2 bombs put a stop to it all,
Well, I mean, the fire bombings did more damage, killed more people. And if you really... Here's where every last ounce of maybe we shouldn't have dropped the bomb was ripped out of me. I read about the comfort houses and what the Japanese military, because this was all Japanese military, right?
Yeah.
The emperor was not a god until the Japanese military took over the education system in the early 20s and made him into a god. Okay? That was not part of Japanese lore.
I will push back on that. That's kind of always been a thing. I wouldn't say it was as celebrated then, but they always had the opinion that the emperor had divinity. It may not have been celebrated or pushed as hardly before the 1920s, but it always was a thing.
Was it considered something along the lines of like the English way of looking at it, which is like you are here because God has willed it?
I don't know.
It was not to the level that they pushed it. It was intentionally done by the Japanese military because to stop the Japanese
I think they did
people from
intensify it. I agree with that.
So he was not viewed as a god by the people until that happened. There's divinity, and there's multiple layers of divinity. But as the god, no, he wasn't viewed as that. Not until the Japanese military made that into someone that they needed to die for. Because before it was dying for your honor, dying for your family honor. Then it was, no, you got to die for the emperor.
I kind of feel like they took something that was already there and they just pivoted it.
There's a kernel of truth in every lie.
Yeah.
Right. But in the end, they made them fanatics.
Yeah.
Right. And just read what they did to Korean women. That's all you need to do.
Well, dude, I mean, you can read about what they did to some of the Buddhist monks that wouldn't surrender. I mean, you had like this whole thing going on with, I'm totally blanking on his name. He was the guy that kind of became the first unifier of Japan, but didn't really fully succeed. Nobunaga.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's like like entire areas that he wiped out because these Buddhists wouldn't surrender. And they even wiped out the villages around them because they viewed them as being sympathizers with the Buddhist.
Well, I mean, they used to skin the Chinese villagers alive, tie them to their huts, and set them on fire.
Yeah,
I mean,
the Japanese were fucking brutal, man. They're
brutal.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing, like where they would boil people alive. Yeah, that happened.
Yeah. That stuff happened.
Yeah, you guys need to look into Japan's Unit 731.
The ones that did all the vivisections and stuff on the Chinese.
Yep.
Yeah, those were some fucking hard. That was nasty.
Doesn't Wendigoon have an entire video on that right now?
Yeah, I think Wendigoon does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've read a lot about that and those groups there, but 731 was very bad. The comfort houses is the forced prostitution of mostly Korean women, and the military believed that their men fought better if they had, gotten relief, and what they would do to these women and what they make some of their soldiers do and stuff, things like that was and eventually got to the point they were taking Japanese women of the lower classes out. So it was very much class system.
Yeah.
And stuff from there. So the point is they were vicious, and you could not give anybody any quarter.
So something Lindsay says in the chat right here about crazy to see Japan make a cultural 180 after World War II. Are they the only country that has pretty much did like a self-reflection in their art, the anime, everything from Akira to Attack on Titan. Like all of their stuff is almost a self-acknowledgement of their Godzilla. All of that
Hubris.
Yeah, and it's an acknowledgement of it, and like instead of trying to get back to it or acknowledging their crimes, they create this amazing stuff that we in the West try to ruin.
Yeah.
Well, I think when you get to the level that the Japanese people got to, the level of destruction, I mean, you had the greatest industrial power of the time after Germany fell. And the U.S. was only giving about 25-30% of their industrial might to the Pacific War. And when they were able to turn everything on the Japanese, that's just an intense heat that no one could withstand. So after this defeat and just deflation, the U.S. went in and built the country back. And I don't know if there's been a country in history that we can remember that's still around that as a group has had to face their own destruction, being wiped off the face of the earth, and look into their own souls as deeply as the Japanese did.
I mean, in our art, I think Oppenheimer was the most recent one. And from what I understand, the way Nolan filmed it, black and white scenes are what's considered objectively true, and that anything in color is subjective to the viewer. So in this, it's a colored scene, so it's again subjective. But during that scene, they're in I think it's the chief of staff's office or somebody, and he makes a comment like, I get nervous when Americans don't protest like the firebombing of Tokyo. And I'm going, well, it's not like you guys put it all over the news like we just firebombed 110,000 people. It's not like there was social media out there. We didn't hear about these things until after. We have no self-reflection until after. You know, all they heard about the bomb being dropped was a great weapon of war with the might of the atom.
They touted it. The movies, movie tone news and all that stuff, and that's where people got their news, was through the serials and everything's happened from there. During that time, my grandmother, my grandfather was in the war. They were going and doing all this stuff and everything, and the Americans were damn proud of the bomb and damn fine with them using it.
Yeah.
And the only thing I think that was a problem is that they didn't have any more.
Yeah.
If they'd had more than the two, they'd have kept
probably
going.
would have used them.
They probably would have gone through China and probably would have gone to a little bit in Russia just to push everybody back.
Well, the other thing,
don't fuck with us.
The other thing too that a lot of people don't talk about, when they always talk about the whole thing with the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but we massively fucked over Dresden. I mean, we carpet bombed the shit out of Dresden to the point where parts of Dresden was like melted concrete.
They got so hot from the firebombing that the tar was melting around the people fleeing. And if you remember, at this time, Jews were hiding in the basements trying to get out of Germany because so many of, in fact, the ones who survived were the Jews hiding in like the Underground Railroad. And there's multiple accounts. A little girl, she had to put special rain boots on just to get through the streets. That's how melted the tar was. People were literally burning, trying to leave houses on fire in Dresden. We could thank Curtis Bombs Away LeMay for that.
That was some pretty excessive shit too that we were doing, and I don't even know if that was necessary. I mean, I understand the necessity of certain things, but that seems a bit extreme.
Curtis LeMay is on record saying that he knows what he did was a war crime. And he's surprised he was never prosecuted for it in international court.
Probably because he's on the winning side.
Well, yeah. So he who is the victor writes the history books.
When they were prosecuting Dornitz, he was the U-boat admiral and head of the Navy that was deputy Fuhrer and took over when Hitler killed himself. They were at his trial and they were wanting to hang him for all of the sinkings and stuff with the U-boats. And Admiral Nimitz from the U.S. testified, we used the exact same tactics they did in the Atlantic in the Pacific. He said, we went after all the Japanese troop transports and goods transports and merchant ships. That's where the U.S. went first. They did such a good job, the U.S. Submarine Group, that the only thing they really had to shoot at towards the end of the war were wooden junks, Japanese junks, the little small fishing boats and stuff like that. There was nothing left. So going back to the Japanese people looking into the abyss, the U.S. devastated them to a level that no one has seen since mostly antiquity, when they would come in and just wipe everybody out. And you haven't seen that. The Japanese couldn't defend themselves. There was nothing left. And
we don't conquer the way we used to.
Right. Well,
humans.
Because they were primed to die like that on Saipan and all the stuff that they saw there, because they were doing that. The U.S. knew they had to do this. You had to go to this level or else it was never going to stop.
Yep. Zed brings up Sherman. He says, it was war. Sherman was a war criminal, but it was understandable. It just jumped on me. Understand why he did it. Well, I mean, for Sherman, it was personal. He didn't do it because he was trying to win a war. He was
embarrassed at Shiloh.
Yeah, for him, it was fucking personal. So I think there's a difference between trying to win a strategic victory or trying to defeat the enemy when you're just like, fuck this shit, I'm going to burn everything to the ground because of what the South has done.
I don't know if people know this, but Sherman went crazy. Like, he was mad.
Yeah.
Like, before he literally had them on the outskirts of Shiloh, and they're like, yeah, there's like a infantry brigade like right to your southern flank, and he's like, there's nothing there. And he even wrote a letter to Grant that said, we are in no risk of being attacked by the Confederates. And that didn't work out as well.
Yeah, I mean,
I've heard some rumors about that he might have had syphilis.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
But Sherman did that mainly to break the will, because he was passing through villages where, wives and family members, took pride in their southern
heritage,
their southern ways, and the crime of slavery is bad, but you got to remember that these people, I mean, the South wanted to give them full voting rights. That's how you ended up with the 3/5 compromise from the North. So they were nervous that the slaves would outnumber them. The big problem was it was a property dispute, because the government said slavery is illegal. You won't be reimbursed for property because you can't own a human. And they said, well, you can't just take something without giving us something back. And they said, well, there's no way you're going to get, the slaves are going to get voting rights, and then the South is going to completely outnumber us. But we have all the mechanic, the industrial might up in the North. So,
check my comments under Yelling at Park Cars on X. Okay, let me go do that.
I wonder if we can see those.
I don't know. They might not. I'm not sure. Oh, here we go. Found it.
I was going to say Sherman
I
destroyed.
don't see any comments. That's weird.
Sherman, what, Bill?
I said he destroyed areas that weren't rich either. I mean, he came through and destroyed churches and burned towns. He burned
He fucking burned everything in his path.
Yeah, but in this area, where I'm from, he burned where my parents was from, but not where I'm at now at all. And then they left behind soldiers and prostitutes in that area that stayed after the war and just continued to destroy the towns even after it was over with and stuff.
Oh, I found it.
But yeah, it was devastating. I mean, it was just awful. I mean, it was more than just.
Sherman had groups of looters that he just sent ahead to they called them scavengers and bummers. That was the name. That's where bumming came from. They called them the bummers, and they would just go around and raid farms, raid kitchens, take jewelry.
These were poor working farmers. I mean, they burned everything, not just people with wealth. I mean, they just totally devastated. I mean, it's just awful.
Yeah. He did a lot of shit. Let me share this. This is kind of neat. I know that he mentioned this before. But so this is his grandfather right there. And pay close attention to the above sign. He was responsible for the rebuilding of Hiroshima after the bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Hiroshima City Hall. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. My grandfather, he's not my actual grandfather. He's the grandfather I knew, though, was actually at Pearl Harbor when it was attacked. So
really, my great uncle was on the Utah, which was the target ship when all that happened, and was part of the salvage stuff doing that. He was towards the end of his career. He was in the Navy in the 10s and 20s, 19s.
My grandfather was in World War II, received, he was part of Nimitz's fleet. He has a Japanese sword, and that was the last time of like honor when he actually was an officer, received the Japanese sword. It was whatever they call it, like a subjugation or whatever.
Yeah, my grandfather was in Burma. He was in the Windtalker program. But he was a part of General Stilwell's detachment, who was a relative. And they had to fight their way out a few times, got encircled and all that kind of stuff. And told some harrowing stories of some hand-to-hand kills that he had to do from there. And he ended up getting shot in the leg, and they sent him back. But back then, I mean, somebody's got over 25 hand-to-hand kills.
Yeah.
They're not right. Okay, yeah. They're not right, especially in that where you're fighting for your life.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's different shooting somebody, and there's a difference when you're looking somebody in the eye and you're basically stabbing them to death.
He did most of those with a knife. Okay, that's saying you're fighting for your life to get out of that, and you're doing that kind of stuff, and it just how much more violent and devastating to the psyche was war back before artillery, right? When you had to meet somebody face to face on the battlefield with the sword, you're hacking at people and all that, and you could get a cut, and it festers and die. I mean, just massively nasty war, and the things from there. But yeah, he didn't come back the same, and a lot of people didn't.
Yep.
From there, there's the book The Pacific is based on, is from. Savage was the guy's name. Well, his brother was in Europe, and he talks about they were from Alabama. When they got back home, and in the book, he talks about how his brother and he comparing notes, and he realized that they were totally different wars, totally different experiences, because he had issues dealing with this. His brother had less issues, and they were both in combat. What it was at 3 or 4% of the people that were drafted by the United States during World War II actually saw combat from there. So, but yeah, it's not something that we started out by looking at these snowflakes out here at these campuses. Oh my God! I mean, if from the greatest generation to the baby generation, they're 28, 29-year-old children that think that stuff just shows up.
This is one of the things that Tim Pool always says. He would ask people, "Where does food come from?" They go, "The grocery store." Well, it's like
they have no clue.
They have no fucking clue. But first, I want to end it on the YouTube side because we have a reason why Pinochet is here, and it's to talk about spicy things that we probably can't talk about on YouTube. So, if you'd like to continue listening to this conversation, I suggest you head over to the Rumble side of things, where we're going to go and continue, and we're going to talk about the Hunter Biden laptop.
I have dropped the link.
Thank you very much. And I'm going to end it in 3, 2, 1. See you guys on the Rumble side.
Brennan's gay.
And it's over.
Why did you